Okay, let's go through another game. I'm white here. This is a game to 7, and I played this yesterday, but I think I remember some interesting things that I wanted to check out. I haven't checked them out yet. Um, okay, double ones is my favorite. Okay, we get hit, and then we come in and make our 9 points. As always, I'll just try to focus on the important ones. So this, I guess somebody might make the 22 or hit on the 4, but the reason hitting on the 10 is better is there's not a direct shot from the bar. Like if you hit them there, then they can hit you directly. And just making the 22 doesn't do much. We've got a great opportunity here. Okay, so double ones, I shift over and hit with the 4. It kind of breaks this up, but you know, a hit is a hit, and that gives us still more options next time. Hopefully you guys would have made that play. He's hitting me back, which was a big blunder. He is destroying his board for a shot at hitting me there. So he should have just run. He should have just run, because running makes this guy totally safe without me, because I've got no spares on the midpoint. But instead, he thought, I've got a 3-point board. I might as well hit. There's a lot of blots. I can kind of see why you might think that. But he's only got 8 in the zone here. So that he gets punished huge. 227 is the blunder there. He just doesn't have fuel to do that. You got to get home first. So I dance, and then he misses a double here. So this is a clear double. There's a lot of volatility. By volatility, like there's a lot of blots, right? A lot of things that can change quickly. So if he hits me again on this roll, I'm definitely going to drop. 2 on the bar is very hard to take a cube. He could cover that. He could come down and bring 2 builders at the very minimum. He could make this. That would really help his chances and kill my chances. So he should have doubled. It's got 31% gammons, 65%, but he missed it. So then what happens here is we make our 22, and now we're no longer in a threat of being closed out. He can't double anymore. So after our move, the gammon chances go down to 20%. Remember, they were 33 before, did we say? And now he's down to 62% win. So that is not enough. He's continuing to move. I hit him on his head there. And now I'm going to make a blunder. 5-2. What should I have done here? I should have just got off of that 22 and cleaned up a bit. So let's see. Here, this would leave 1 blot there. My play leaves 0 blots, but they're all stacked up on the 4. Now, I knew this looked ugly. I was just thinking, I just wasn't sure about leaving this blot there because I didn't want to get hit. But this just kills our structure. It makes it so we can only hit them with 1s or something 1 or something 2. It's just too ugly. It really takes away a lot of our good rolls in the future. But whereas this play, putting this on the 7, that's a great place for the checker, okay? Because it's spread out from the other one, so that's a lot more numbers to aim at the 3. And remember, if you are right up next to something, only 1s hit it. But then, let's say you are from the 6 to the 3, I could hit it. I could hit it with a 2-1. I could hit it with any 3. So more numbers. So if you're 6 away from a pip, from a blot, that's the highest number of shots to hit it. Okay, so now there we're getting primed in here. 3-2, this was correct. I could have brought just 2 down here, but I see this blot here, and I'm like, this is desperate. I only have they've got a 4-point board here. I've only got a 3-point board. This is a desperation play. You don't usually want to do this, but look at this. I've got all of the outfield controls for me. It was correct to hit. Everything else would have been a blunder. See, if I brought this down, it just doesn't. It lets him either make a... first of all, he can have a lot of shots at hitting me if I'm here. That would have been 7s and 8s and 9s. 7s, 8s, and 9s would have all hit me, which adds up to quite a bit. And I don't want to get hit because I could dance quite a bit. But I hit, and he danced here. We got lucky. So now I'm thinking about doubling. I did think about it, but I didn't double because I've got a lot of work to do to get home. I need 5s to get these guys out. So, and my prime is not perfect, and he could get a blot. He could come in there. I've still got blots, so it's not a double. Let me look at the cube decision there. I'm not even winning most of the games from this position. But anytime somebody dances, I like to look at the double closely. So this was a small error. I made that too. I should have brought that one and leave this guy a bit further. Not a huge deal. Okay, coming in. We are now preparing for him to leave with 1, or him to crunch. So he's going to try and jump out. But meanwhile, if he doesn't come out, these guys are going to crunch, and he's going to have to fill this stuff in. So how this game is going to work out is my spare is going to jump over his guys, and I'm going to hit him when he jumps out from there. That's the kind of thing you kind of have to look forward to. Okay, so he's cleaning up. I don't really have a choice here. Okay, so he gets a 6-5, which is super lucky. So he jumps out. Now he has outfield control. And when I jump out, he's going to be a favorite to hit me. So what happens is I jump out with this 5. All this is -1s. That's because the computer knows a double pass is coming up. So is this a double pass? Cube is a double pass, right? But he didn't do it. He did not double pass. Even though there's not a lot of gammons, only 9%, 77%, because he hits me with 8s and 9s and 1s. And he would totally hit me with the 1 there because he's got a 4-point board. But he didn't do it. But he does hit me, of course, with an 8. And then I'm dancing. Now, why doesn't he cube here? It's probably because it's too good now. Let's see what the cube is. It's too good. So when you got 1 on the board here, this is 83 and 14% gammons. So it's too good. The chances of me winning is I have to come in and hit if I hit a 3-5, luckily next roll, then I'm good. But he's probably not going to have any trouble coming home. But let's see, he makes a blunder here. What's this blunder about? So he just moves up to the 8, but really he wants to be clearing his points now. He doesn't need to contain me. He should just be trying to clear me. He just wants to get in. He's not in trying to prime me, so that's the mistake. So I come in, try to make it as efficient as possible because we're behind a prime. We're not going to have we have 0 flexibility really. So here's another double pass. See, all these things are -1. Cube, double pass. He didn't do it, and it's only a tiny error because there's no volatility. That means there's no real change that's going to happen. Whatever he does, it's just going to clear from the back. I can't escape, so I'm crunching a bit here. But look, he's going to come there. I'm going to get I really need a 6. I get a 6 to come out, and now it's just still a double pass. We have 11% wins. Only 3% gammons we're giving up, and he's 88%. So this is all clear. This is all normal stuff. Let's see if we'd probably never get a shot. And he finally double passes. Okay. So that double pass for this game gets him, those cube errors was only his biggest problem. It was 9.3. I got a 5 point something. Next game. Okay, so I'm hitting him on his side of the board. It's always lovely. And then here is a error from me. Now, I usually don't do this, but why did I think I should? Oh, I should have been hitting on the 3. I did the double hit. I knew. So I played the 4. The 4 is clear. And then what do you do with the 5? You can come down. And then I was like, oh, I can hit there. But, of course, this is just, if I just looked a little bit longer, this was just clearly a better hit. It's only a 0.04 error. Okay, so then he comes in with 2. The other reason that makes you want to do double hits is because he's still got another blot after that. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 blots. So, you if you can't make a good point, you might as well hit him twice. He comes in, 5-2. I tidy up here, but really I should have been hitting again on that 3. It's kind of like a crazy mayhem, tons of blots on all sides of the board. But it wasn't a huge problem to try and think of cleanup there, but it would have been better to hit. And he comes in, hits me with that. He would have been better to just hit me from the other side because this is a better point than that one. And then that leaves a spare on this and this. See how the spares, he loses his spare on the 8. when I say spare, it's like the third checker or more. So it really reduces his numbers of good rolls after this, so that's why it's a blunder. 6-4 is pretty automatic. I'm just slamming them, hitting again, hitting again, hitting again, hitting again. Okay, so here, look at all this garbage we have. So I'm coming in on the 5. That's forced. And then what do you do with your 6? I could hit, but that'll make my midpoint be destroyed. Do I care? And the answer is no. I can't make any other point. Otherwise, like if I don't hit, I'm just sitting there and he's going to hit me like at least once. Like how could he not hit me if I don't hit him? So he luckily, and 2 on the bar is better. When you're hitting the second one, it's okay to be risky with that second one because think about the combinations that will hit me back. Nothing will really hit me back. It'll be doubles, right? Double 4s would have hit me back, but still, he doesn't have a board. I shouldn't be that scared. It's just, let's just see what happens. So this is a crazy game. Okay, so now 4-3. Now I'm looking at making real estate. Okay, so once you've got all these blots, you want the best real estate. You want that oceanfront or whatever you like. So we could make this point. 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 This point is clearly the best because we're not in any threat here. We just want to make these points before. So when they have, red has got 4 checkers back, 5 checkers back, we want to make sure that we can prime them. And we don't get primed ourselves. So this is a pretty sweet move right now. He's still on the bar. He comes in and look, he doesn't have any good shot chances there because he can't come down with the 6. Because look at all these things I have ready to fire. So I hit twice again. Again, this is where hitting twice is better than making just like, if I make this 16, I'm going to leave the 16 soon, hopefully. But like, you know, I don't want to give him a double. A 2 anchor back game is way stronger than a 1 anchor back game. So red has 1 anchor. I'd like to leave it at that. Especially with the spare on it. You know, that's really inefficient. So I hit him twice there. Everything else would have been a huge blunder. He comes in, he hits me there. That's fine. 4-2. So now I'm just going to keep hitting him. I still have a chance. I don't have a lot of checkers back here, but this is worth trying to go for that 5. He comes in only with 1. And now I get this lucky one to fill it with an 11. And then all of a sudden he is in. He's back in the game. And smartly, whenever you have 4 or more on a, or even 3 on one of your anchors, it's almost always the right play to spread it out. And especially because I've got no outfield control. Look, my midpoint is gone. So he wants to control, his new plan is to like, get these guys, don't let these guys go all the way free, control the outfield, which is this side, and start building some points. He's already got 1 anchor. He doesn't really care if he gets hit again because he can make another anchor. So what he does here is he hits and clears his 2-1, stacks him up on the 6. Now, this is bad for a lot of reasons. Firstly, you're killing your point. You only have so many points. This is a point that you want. He wants to build this prime. When I've got these many checkers behind, he wants to prime me because eventually I'm going to have to leave the 5. And this is 6 picks away from the 2. He doesn't want to do that. So really, he should have just done this guy, increase his outfield control, or just don't make it any worse, which is what he's done. A 2-1 is going to accomplish nothing. Hitting there is going to accomplish nothing. There's no way, unless I get a double 6, I'm doing whatever I want next turn. So that's a really bad decision. Now I should have doubled. This is where I should have doubled, which I'm hesitant to double when there's so much action going on here for a couple of reasons. One, when they have this many back, you often have a lot of gammons. And when they have this many back, you can lose a lot of games. Even though it looks like white is amazing, red can still win 33%. And it's hard for me to gauge that. It's hard for beginners to gauge it, or even intermediates. So I slow down when I'm looking at games like this. I want to see it a little bit because I mean, backgammon is pattern recognition, right? And I just don't recognize that this is clearly a double yet. Okay, so then he comes, hits me. Here's an error here. So I'm hitting there, and coming out. So what this one I should not have hit at all. Why? Because he's already got 5 back here. Okay, how do we want this? And also he's got a blot on the one, his one. So the reason that's bad is because I want him to have this blot. How is he going to beat me? He has to prime me. And if all his checkers are in the 1, then anytime I get hit, I'm going to come in on the left side of his point. So that is the last point he wants to make in his board. And by hitting him, it fixes that problem for him. He can still come in here on the 1 or 3. He's more likely to make another anchor, which increases his contact value, which is basically his chances later on in the game to turn it around with a hit. So I shouldn't have done that. That was pretty close to a blunder. I was thinking about that at the time. Okay, so what happens here? 4-2. So now he's got this 18, and he's got checkers on all 3 of these things. This is good for him. So let's see how much that 18 helps him. Now he can win 38% where he was winning 35. So that just getting that one thing gave him 5% more wins. Spread this guy out. It's going to make it, he can leave there, he can stay there for a long time, and it means I can't make a full prime in front of him. Okay, so 6-4, I'm trying to head home, but really now is when I should have hit here and deny this triple action. You know, you don't like to make points on the opposite side of their anchor, but at some point you don't want them having a triple anchor. You don't want them having that 3-2. So this stops that. Okay, he's coming out here. This would have been better just to spread out. See, like he's got all this stuff. He doesn't care about getting hit. He kind of wants to either make that 4 or get hit and try to make a 22 or 23, because that would really make it tough for me. And you'll see that happen later. So here I'm hitting, and I'm coming in and hitting. So there I was like, I don't want this 2 point, but really I was confused. I should just make it. That's the second time I've made that problem. Make some real estate. Okay, so there's 1s. Just shift your guys around. We get a lucky fly shot from here. And why do we want to hit here is because we take away half his roll. He could dance, right? We got a 3 thing, but he comes in 5-4. All right. So we want to run from the back. All of these things are kind of the same though. Making these things, these are all fine. You know, you're leaving some blots. It doesn't really matter because look at his board, it's garbage. The real action is going to come later, the important stuff. This is just the worst thing I've ever seen. Why would he do this? What's he got to do? He should just go to the 9, right? Isn't that what he's supposed to do? Yeah. Okay. Crunching is the worst thing you can do. Just when he puts this extra checker on the 1, when you're behind a prime and you've got all these guys back, you don't have the luxury of burying checkers for safety. You have to use every single checker. You've got to take your chances. So this is only giving up a shot from 2 pips away. If you get hit, whatever, you've got 2 anchors to come in, which is fine. Okay, you're not going to be stuck on the roof forever. Maybe 1 roll, but definitely not 2-3 rolls. So just don't bury your checker there. So 6-4, I'm coming out. He's hitting me. That's fine. Look, I come in instantly, of course. He hits me, moves over. That's fine. Here, he should have actually not even hit me. Not even hit me. It's just not. See, because if he leaves that, where he did hit me, why is this an error? Is because, look, he's got 2 blots. He's not going to keep me on the bar, and now I have 2 more blots to hit. So he just does not have, the risk reward is in my favor there, not his. I jump out, but really I should have just stayed there and slotted this. Why is that? Because I do want to make this 2, and this I don't mind the contact with these extra blots. This is a problem for him if I'm there. So I can pick up some more and really screw his attempt at making another point instead of jumping over him and making it easy on him. These are all kind of the same. You can leave, right, we don't care about leaving blots right now because he's got 0 board that's any good. Okay, 6-5, 6-1. So now he's starting to make points. Now I'm starting to make a full prime. Okay, and it's fine even if you didn't make the full prime. You know, this is not, we're at the point where we want to come in safely. So we want it to be robust, the spares spread out. We don't want a big 7 checkers on 1 stack, just to give us more options when we roll those tricky numbers that he blocks us. So you want to spread out your stuff. So here I'm fine, I'm making this 2. It would have been fine to not make the 2. You know, none of this stuff really matters that much because his board sucks and he's got 4 stuck behind us. And when you have a full prime, if you're getting hit, then that's kind of good, because what red is going to do is crunch all of his guys and hopefully get more piled up on the 1. If you don't move, we want to slow down. We want to speed red up. So 2, we could have cleared this, given up a 6-1 shot. That's fine. So now it's like we don't really want to get hit. We want to come in because that's like a slam dunk, but it might happen. So let's see here. 3-1, I cleared the 7 point. I should have cleared the 8 point. Why? I guess this guy's 6 away from there. Okay, and then this would have been the next one. So we're clearing something. This is a problem because this gives them a free 6 out, whereas before we never had a 6 out. So let's see what happens here. 6-4. Okay, I'm clearing what I can. I can't clear the 9 because it's blocked by the 3. Okay, and now I blunder by not doubling here. So let's look. 75% and 25% gammons. Only 25% gammons, and look at what's going on in red. They've actually got some chances to ruin my day. So I was thinking this is too good. I've got so many ways to gammon him, but with this back checker, it's still limits the gammons to only 25. So here, what did I actually do with the move? The move I hit and covered. Well, I hit loose, right? So like this leaves a blot. This would have been the same, almost. And then he comes in with this, okay? And guess what? Now they're favorite. And this was a double take. So he doubled, I dropped this. I figured I'm on a bar with 5 points, but I guess he's still got a little bit of work to do to get this home, and I saw this blot. It's a tough double to take, though. Even though we dominated the whole game, he hit a stupid 1 shot, and that's what happens in backgammon. You try not to go crazy, but I should have taken this. The pass was a blunder. 300. Because I've got 33% wins, 7% gammons. Yeah. Tough one. I guess even if I come in, I can come out quickly. Tricky one. Just try to remember this. I mean, backgammon would be boring if you got everything right. Okay. All right. So we hit double 1s, which is exciting. Doesn't matter if you bring 3 down there or lift from the back or basically move up to the 23. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're getting hit. I'm completing my 4 prime, which is beautiful. He hits me twice. Now I doubled from the bar with 2 on the bar. This is it's kind of a badass move. Just think about it, right? So like he's got 3 behind my prime. Only one of them has daylight. What's he got going on? Garbage. No points. He's got 1 guy on the 1 already, which I could hit with my next roll. I could hit this guy with stuff, the roll after that. He's just only got 7 down here. This is bad. So I have 25% gammons, 69% wins, and that's the situation there. So it adds up to a double pass because I'm losing 2-0 as well. That's not a huge deal. So I come in, I hit him. He hits me twice. I come in. This is all automatic. He's hitting me. Okay. And now with my 5, I'm coming down. I don't want to do anything like hit from the 8. You might be tempted to do this, but just chill. This is too important, this prime. You don't have enough guys here to start rolling this puppy forward. You only have 9 here, It's more important to bring more guys out or let us move forward. Okay, here we made a mistake. Why do I always do this? This is where I could have just made that 4. Shift that from there to there. Instead, I hit and advance, split my checker. This is just better. It gives me a 3rd point. I can make the 7 back easily. Okay, now it's automatic. Stuff is happening. 3-2 eventually. So all these are kind of the same. It's not super important to make the anchor that I did because our situation is so good. And look at this garbage here. This is like really killing his winning chances. So we are 67%. Okay, he's still got a lot of chances. That's interesting. Okay, so 4-1. Now I get him there. So now I kind of want to leave this guy here. So I'm coming in here. I kind of want to make that 9 point. And I luckily do make the 9 point. I could have made the 9 point and split instead of bringing both down. Because that's one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to totally lose your midpoint when you've still got guys back here. This thing helps them have a landing spot on your way home. So it was slightly better to not kill it. He gets me on the way out. I'm just got to be brave. One of these 6s is coming out. So it makes more sense to leave the 21, which saves us a little bit. Okay, 4-2. We're just on the mission to come home. So now we've got this 5 point, and things are getting dicier for their side. So the thing to remember here is we could be going 3 and then 2, which is actually the better move. But this is actually the same almost. Even though they have a 3-point board, we just got to go for it. The last thing we want to do is crunch and have to break our 5 point, because a 5-point prime is almost as good as a 6-point prime. It's very hard to get over, especially for this guy. He needs a 3 and then a 6 to get out, so he needs multiple rolls. He hits me loose there instead of just taking his 3-6, which I said is super rare. You should just take it. Just go for it. It's because he's going to be at a risk of crunching. That's what he should be thinking about. Don't crunch, don't crunch, don't crunch, don't crunch. What do you think the win chances are here? So with this move, I'm 70% and 21% gammons. Okay, so look, he's got 4-point board now. It's getting a bit crazier. He's hitting me still. Okay, 3-1, I'm still on the bar. Now he's got 5 back. But now he is, he's got a lot of action here. Double 4s, I can't move. He's shifting over. Okay, so let's see, what do we have here? So this was a good, important thing to do for him here, was to make sure he piles them up on the 21 here. Because he's going to run out of timing. These guys are going to come around while I'm on the board. Like you can't, once you have this anchor, you really want to he's going to need more fuel. He needs the avenue out. And the only way to get out is rolling a 6 and moving a checker from the 21. So you got to move your checkers there. It's a super bad move not to. Let's see. So now I got 2 on the bar, but he's not going to be able to get out. Oh, but then he gets double 6s. And what does he do? He brings 3 of them out, but really he should have brought 4 of them out. 6s don't grow on trees. Bring them all out. Bring them all out. That would have made him 44% wins, and this is 41%. Okay, and if you don't bring those out, it's big trouble. So now all of a sudden we're in trouble, because look, he's got the outfield control. I've only got 2 checkers trapped, and one of them has daylight. So that's when I know I need to, instead of playing safe here, I need to deny the daylight. He's on the edge of my prime. If I let him escape, then it's all over for me. I'm never gonna get home. So I don't have outfield control. I really got to fight to kind of improve my prime to a 6 prime, and then I can get hit and just he'll crunch. So let's see what happens here. I hit, and then he hit me back and kind of tidied up. So now I'm on the bar. I dance. He is going to start this crunching process. Let's hopefully 2-1. So we're 2. I hit him there, of course. Now he's got that 21 point again, which is pretty sweet. This one, 5-1, I hit him there. Wasn't sure about it, but this is a big blunder. I should have just tidied up because he's got a 4-point board. We don't want to get hit. Even though we're down in the race by quite a bit, we just don't want to be on the bar while he's having extra chances to roll 6s and escape. So this was bad news because he could hit us loose there, and he can hit us with a 6. It's just like it could be any 3 is going to hit me. A 1-2 is going to hit me. Any 1, 2, 3, or 4 with a 6 is going to hit me. That's a lot of shots. So it would have been better. We should have just come out and lifted up. So this only 3s hit me. Only 3s hit me, and this 3 isn't in a bad place for us. The 3 is not, we're not going to be clearing our prime anytime soon. So we don't care about them having extra dudes here. We just want to hit the 4 when he has to jump us. But I screwed that up. See, he's getting on the 21. Now it's looking kind of hairy because he can jump out. He does. So now we got 2 on the bar. Double 4s. Okay, we're still not in. So now it's like, can he crunch? Can he crunch? And I get the double 6, not him. He gets 1 out. Okay, let's see if he's going to get the second one out. We really don't want him to get out because as soon as he gets out, it's a big relief for him. But look, he doesn't get out. This is the 5 prime doing work. So he has to leave us a shot. And here we don't hit him. Okay, so it's a 2-1. What are we going to do with the 1? We can either lift the 9 or hit 5-4. And we hit 5-4, and that's correct. Everything else would have been horrible. And you say the 5 point's the most important point. Why am I killing it? We're desperate. We're desperate. The only way we're going to win is with the prime. Okay? If we lift this 9 to 8, he can roll a 5 or a 6, and then the game is essentially over. Okay? He ends up double 5-ing, hitting us and running all the way around. He's still got that blot. Do we hit it? Do we hit it? Do we hit that blot? No. We had all these chances of hitting blot. We did not hit. What about this chance? Do we hit it? No. No. This game is over. So what? We're just trying to make sure we don't get backgammon. We're not going to save gammon. So we're not backgammoned here, and he wins a gammon. Now we're down 0-6 Crawford. All right, we played well. I mean, we played fine, but sometimes those things work, sometimes they don't. Okay, so 6-4. We are hitting on the 4 point. This would have been slightly better, but not a huge deal. Okay, we're making our bar points. 3s. Okay, lots of choices with the 3s. This would have been almost as good, but I figured make a 3-point board, call it an instant board. And then we're just hitting from the back. This is pretty obvious stuff. Move our blot around. And then we're rebuilding our 8. Okay, so what's going on here? We're kind of neat and tidy. We're up 40 in the race. We can't double because it's Crawford. Okay, so this was a mistake. I was like, let's make this 7, but really, it's time to run. Time to run. We're up in this race. He's only got a 2 point, so if we get hit, we can come back in and try again. So this would have been a good time to just try and run. Instead of this, which leaves a blot there and a blot there. So he's supposed to run from the back. I did not do that. So now 5-4, I made this puppy, and this was a blunder, because I guess it leaves 2 blots there. What's the better play? Leaving 1 blot. Okay, so that would go there. This would be the only blot. And this guy stacks up. It's because we're way high in the race. Really, you just be like, just let me get home safe. Who cares? So that's a huge mistake. Because he can hit very well. That's kind of weird. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, here it's coming down. Okay, so let's see what happens here. We do get home. Double 3s. Okay, so now we're just trying to clear from the back. We're not going to get a gammon here because he's got a prime. He's got an anchor. So you notice that we're only going to get 4%. So we don't care about anything but safety. Our race is so big, we just don't want to leave shots. So we want to make sure we keep even numbers on the top when we can. This is not an even number, but There's no real decision points. So 3, this one is the same as this one. Okay, so this isn't even, so you look, double 6s would take these off, double 5s would take these off. So these are pretty much the same. All right, so now they've got a full point board. So this is why we want to have the evens, because the double 4s would have left a shot. Okay, so now we're here, we clear it. We don't get cute and take 2 off here. You don't take, we're not, there's risking it for no reward, because we're not going to get a gammon even if we take 2 off here. He's going to be able to get home. If we take 2 off, we get 7% gammons. If we take 0 off, we get 4% gammons. That's a lot for going from 4 to 7% gammons. Neither is likely, and it's only a 1-point thing. It's not like we win the match if we get a gammon. Just keep it safe, because that saves us from 5-1, 4-1, 6-1 next roll. And then we just close out and we get a single win. Go to game 5. Okay, so now this is post Crawford. So what do you do post Crawford? In your first time, you automatically double. This was actually an automatic double pass, because I'm actually in the lead, 52% here, but he took it. I can see why you don't think you're behind. All right, we're coming in automatically. Okay, so when we are post Crawford, we don't care about getting gammoned, but he cares about getting gammoned. So that means some of the decisions change. You're always hitting this 6. You're always hitting with this 4-2 instead of making a point and leaving a blot there. You're always hitting with that. 6-4, we're double hitting, which was actually wrong. This would have just been better to do that. That is interesting. Very interesting. I guess I wouldn't have done that. Well, I didn't. That's a tricky one. We'll leave that alone. Okay, so if the 6, I didn't know what to do with the 6 here. It didn't really matter. If you don't have a good 6, you just look at the options. So when you have a play like this, you're like, okay, the 2 is going to go to the 4, no matter what. I just can't see getting talked into any other 2. And then you look at your 6 as you end up where we did. 3-2, bringing 2 down. Okay, so let's see. All right. This game is looking pretty good for us, but he hits us with a 3-6 from the bar, which was a super unlucky move for us. Now we're stuck on that the 5-point. 5-point helps us from being gammon. It doesn't help us from losing the game. So it's not amazing. Okay, so here double 5s, we end up hitting him and leaving a blot there. He luckily hits there. We were in a good shape before that. So now this is trouble, because if he comes in on that 4, then, he's going to have an easy time. We've got no outfield control anywhere. We got 5 guys back here. This is going to be tough to get home without some huge doubles. So when you get the double 2s, if you get the small doubles and they've already got 1 on the roof, it's a good idea to look for the switch play. So both of these top 3 plays all involve 6 to 4. And you say, oh, well, don't you want to block him in? Well, we're only blocking 1s and 2s, so forget it. And then some kind of combination of moving out was correct there. It's coming down. Here's an error. I did this, where really I should have spread out even more, like get off of that anchor. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so now we're tidying up because he's in, or he can come in any second, right? Because now he's only got 1 on the bar, so now we're open to 6. We don't want to get hit again. This is, we're a little bit up in the race, but this is essentially, we just want to be, since we don't have a prime, we're not going to be blocking them in. We don't want the contact. This is kind of like a holding game, right? It's a holding game, so you don't want to take risks unless you have to. So look at this. Beautiful. We're going to win this game, I bet. Okay. So we're moving. So this double 1s. Okay, so this double 1s, I should have done this. Clear 1 point, so then you only have 1 point to go. This stacking them up when you have only one thing to go, it's more common than you think that this is the right play. But I didn't do it. Okay. 3-1. 6-4 coming in here, clearing what we can. Now we have to leave a shot. And is he going to hit me? Of course he's going to hit me. And is his board good? His board is amazing. So he eventually just straight up, I don't think we ever, so when we come now, once we've come in, you could give up here. 97%. Some people give up, but you know, it's possible. We roll a bunch of 6/6s. Anyway, we did not win this one. The match, so we were both good at this game. For the match, I was a 5.99. He was a 10. We lost. I just thought it was interesting because of those, you know, a lot of crazy back game stuff and some fun primes. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching.